Welcome everyone to the first Velero community meeting of 2021. This is the Velero community meeting and open discussion. Today is January 5th, 2021. Everyone's back from PTO. What has happened and what are we doing?
Happy New Year. Everybody from VMware was on PTO for 2 weeks and we are back. And I don't think I'm going to be able to open any PR this week. There are a lot of PRs to review. And I also have a few PRs that I need to address the code reviews for. So that's going to be it for me this week.
Sounds good. Do you know if you have any blockers this week?
I don't think so.
All right. Any questions, comments for Carlisia? All right. Moving on to Bridget.
Very similarly to everyone else. Catching up after PTO, I'm on community support this week, so trying to get through the backlog of issues and things that have been opened during the break. So I apologize if you've had to wait for things. We're getting there and we'll hopefully get to you pretty soon. Other than that, this week, before I left for PTO, I'd updated the PR for the multiple credential support based on a meeting that the maintainers team had. So I think that needs another review, and then hopefully we can come to a decision on the approach that we're going to take, and then I'll try and start making progress on that work. So that's it for me.
Awesome. Any questions, comments? Any blockers here?
I think other than maybe just having another review on the PR, as I mentioned, but I know everyone's got a lot on their plate with reviewing other PRs as well this week. So that's it.
Sounds good. All right, Nolan.
Again, also catching up after PTO. We all took 2 weeks off. Need to catch up on open issues and outstanding PRs. We've got a few things that were in flight prior to the new year and need to pick those things up. One thing I will say is we didn't get much merged in the last 2 weeks, and right before break, it was mostly some small things from Genting. So just a preview, there's not much in contributor shoutouts this week. But I think most folks were off for the holidays. So yeah, slow week this week. Catching up and remembering what I was working on half a month ago.
Yeah, ramping up and getting started again. I feel that. Any questions, comments for Nolan? Any blockers?
I don't think I have any blockers at the moment, but I'm still like going through my backlog of email. Somehow there's a lot of generated email even over vacation, and some of it's noise.
All right, let's dive into a discussion topic instead. Carlisia.
Yes, I wanted to bring this up to see if we are ready to start thinking about starting the discussion. I think we agreed that we wanted to do that.
Can I back up and have we talked about this in a community meeting before? I don't remember.
I think we brought it up a while ago, but yeah, I think it would be worthwhile to just rehash it.
Yeah, can you give some background for Alicia, just so we know why?
Yeah. Yes. So right, backing up. So we talked, and now I don't remember if we definitely talked amongst ourselves, the maintainers. I don't remember now if we talked openly, but we were looking at. Well, Bridget looked into this. I looked into this separately, and then we figured, and Jonas as well. So basically, we having the idea of enabling the discussion tool in our GitHub repo, and having that be where we do support, and also incentivize people to help each other. It works like a Stack Overflow. Like if we, for categories that we assign to be where Q&A or support help is going to be, it would work like a Stack Overflow where anyone can answer, and if an answer is the most appropriate answer or the correct answer would be marked as the correct answer, and the person who answered that correct answer will get recognition from GitHub as a contribution, so that it's a good way to acknowledge people's contribution. And yes, so in that, if going that route, we can, when people open an issue that we notice is a support question, we would transfer to the discussion area and handle support there. But we cannot have different categories too. Like we can have a category for announcements where it's a place where it's more permanent. Like you can open the announcement page, for example, and see the previous announcements, whereas Twitter or Slack, it just disappears after a while. So I suggested those categories. I know there were categories added by other people too as suggestions. I think the last 2 or 3. Anyway, that's the idea.
So with this, we would move discussions off of the Velero mailing list as well, and keep that for meeting invites and announcements, maybe. But other than that, we would essentially retire that for discussions completely. Is that
Yes, I
correct?
forgot about that. Yes, we would lock that for posting, and try to redirect people to just this one central place. And of course, we still monitor Slack, but also even Slack, I think it would be preferable to have these support interactions here. Slack is not as good, but we'll still monitor Slack, but not the Google Groups. I mean, we'll, like Jonas said, we will just use it for announcements, but we'll lock it for posting.
Yeah, and a benefit here is, like, if someone just has a question, they don't have to open a GitHub issue. One thing from our perspective is sometimes we get questions that aren't really bugs or issues with the code. They're just, hey, where do I find this? That's easily converted into a GitHub discussion in the GitHub UI. So that's I think something for us to help kind of streamline our backlog.
Yeah. Jonas, you muted.
Yeah, I think you were flipped.
There we go. Is it possible to move things around if we wanted to change the categories later on? Can we move content to another category? Let's say we wanted to retire the Velero featured to be something else. Can we move content before we retire it, or do you know how that works?
I don't know.
Okay, just something to think about.
These discussion categories are effectively forums, to use like old parlance, right?
Yeah, similar to that. Yeah.
So there's like a community support Q&A forum, using
with a bunch of posts.
old internet lingo before social media.
Yeah. Yeah, I say go.
Does anyone outside of the outside of VMware have any thoughts on this? Have you used it? Have you had feedback? If not, we will take lazy consensus.
I'm trying to post the link here in Zoom chat. But it looks like if you delete a category, GitHub will move all the discussions in that category to another one that you specify. So there's no, I don't think there's any fear of things being lost if we decide to change the categories.
All right. Carlisia, do you want to set this up, or do you want me to set it up?
I can set it up.
All right.
Just wanted to get, like, before I set things up, like, let's get an agreement on what we want. Like this, I mean, does anybody want to add anything to this list so we can like look at it all together right now, or do we like? I think there are certain things here for sure we know we're gonna want. So to avoid opening a category and then thinking, oh, we should delete it.
Yeah, I think the design one could be removed because I think those could just be issues and PRs, in my opinion. Because like if we're talking about refining a design, I think that should be in the discussion on the design. Otherwise, we're looking at like two different places, and that can be difficult. What do you think?
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I think so the reason why I put design there is because I'm thinking, with the GitHub discussion, you have the ability to like thread off of a different how do I say it? Like the thread is not just linear. You have sub threads.
Mm-hmm.
So it just makes it so much easier to like hone in on one thing as opposed to like copying and pasting. I'm commenting on this part of the document now, which also works. So it's not. I mean, so like we could use that to like talk about something that we are discussing and then update the documents as a result of the discussion. But you're right, we're looking at two different places. So trade-offs.
Yeah.
That bugs category in contributor tips, I'm not sure.
Yeah, bugs, if someone thinks it's a bug,
Should
they
go
could
in
just
the
open up
issue.
an issue. Yeah.
In contributor tips, we don't have that much load for contributor interactions. So until then, I wouldn't open it. And we do have documentations for contributors that we are, I think, up to date.
Yeah, I was going to say, should that just go straight into the documentation?
Yeah. Community shout outs I like. I don't even know if I wrote that or not.
What about feature ideas? Because we already had feature request as an issue template as well.
Yeah, we could remove that and just use issues.
Yeah. I know in the past so in other communities I've been in, they have like, this is like a user support mailing list that people use. And then there's like, I'm specifically thinking of Python. They have Python mailing list, and then they have the Python ideas mailing list. But I think the Python ideas mailing list is of questionable value. So, but that's where people kind of brainstorm and go back and forth on, hey, should we even propose this thing? But there's a lot of noise on it. Also, Python's way bigger. There's also nothing to say we can't add these later if we find a need for them. So I think it would be good to start small, and add as we find a need.
So we cut out features, right? Feature ideas.
I think
Yeah.
so. I
Yeah.
think people can raise an issue and we can flag it.
And where did we land on design?
Yeah.
I think design can be similar. I think I grouped that with feature ideas, and discussion about an existing in-flight design would be on that PR.
Okay. This Velero featured category, I think is good.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost so much. It's not so much work to just drop something in there, and people can have a running view of what's been happening.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an easy way for others to say, hey, I found this cool thing that someone talked about Velero as well that we might not know about.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's hard to keep up with that on our blog, on our website. So
Yeah,
this is a good.
exactly. Yeah, I think this is a better way to do this.
Community shout outs. Do we want to have that?
I say go for it for now, and we'll see.
Yeah. I don't see the harm in that one.
I mean, it would be, yeah, it would be a place like, again, like it's almost like documenting for, because we give people shout out here and that's awesome, but
Yeah, it could be a little bit
anyway,
longer lived.
Yeah, longer lived and like a dedicated place that we have to honor people. All right, community meetings I think is great to, I don't know, I think it's good. We posted the link and the content of the HackMD, so it makes it easy for people to search. People searching something that we had a meeting on, they see, oh, they talked about this in the meeting, and they could go and watch the video if they wanted.
Octant does that. I really like that.
I don't think they paste the content of the meeting, but I think that would be like extra helpful.
I thought they did. Let me look.
Or maybe they do. Okay.
Yeah, I thought Wayne did, and they just used the community meetings.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they do. I forgot.
Yeah, they just have real short. They have real short agendas. They use their HackMD for that meeting that day, and then they move everything out.
So, and then general discussion and announcements, community support. I think those make sense.
Yep.
Anything else? Of course, we can add things later.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
this looks good.
I'll do it. I'll set this up this morning.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And then Bridget, you can start moving things there.
Yes. That would be very good.
Cool.
All right. Does anyone have anything else they want to add in as a discussion topic for today? All right. Then it's a short meeting. Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you all have a fantastic rest of the week, ramping up again, and see you all next week. Have a good one.
Bye.
Have a good one,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.